Hello and welcome to Froggity Frog Crochet and this stitch guide on how to crochet the puff star stitch. So this is a variant of the star stitch, which always looks stunning, but the puff nature of it makes it look like it has these raised ribs of texture in between, so it looks almost like a rib stitch. But it still looks as pretty as star stitch usually does. So to start this stitch, you're going to need a foundation chain in multiples of 4 plus 2 plus 2 for your turning chain. So before I start making my star stitch, I've just marked the first chain for my hook with a stitch marker. So that's going to count as our first stitch of the row. So to make the star stitch, we make it by pulling up lots of loops and working into them. So in the second chain from your hook, insert your hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over into the fourth stitch, yarn over into the fifth stitch. So you have gone into 4 different chains. You'll have 8 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 8 loops. Then chain 1. So it's those yarn overs before going into each chain that makes this a puffed star stitch. Okay, so there's your first star right there. So after our chain 1, you're going to insert your hook into that chain 1 space. Pull up a loop. Yarn over. Insert your hook into the same chain that you finished the last star stitch in. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, go into the next chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, go into the next chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop. 8 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 8 loops, then chain 1. So that chain 1 is what finishes your star stitch, and then you've got the second chain up there. So we start the next chain. Insert your hook into chain 1 space, yarn over, insert your hook into the same chain that you finished the last star stitch in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next chain, yarn over into the next chain. You're always going to have 8 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 8 loops, then to finish the star stitch and close it off, chain 1. And you're going to repeat this all the way across the row, always working into that chain 1 space first, yarn over into the same chain that you finished your last star stitch, yarn over into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 8 loops, chain 1. Okay, so you're going to end up with a series of stars looking like that. So after my last star of the row, I'm going to have 1 stitch left. And in that stitch, I'm going to make a half double crochet. Okay, and that finishes the row. Now I'm going to turn. Row 2, chain 1. And we're going to make a double crochet turning chain into that first stitch, which is the half double crochet we finished with in row 1. I'll pop a stitch marker in. Okay, so along this row, we're going to be working into the chain 1 spaces. So these spaces here, and only those spaces. So into the chain 1 space, you're going to make 2 half double crochet. Skip the next stitch, which is the top of the star, and into the next chain 1 space, make 2 half double crochet. Skip the next stitch, which is the top of the star, and go to the next stitch, which is the chain 1 space, and make 2 half double crochet. And you're going to repeat that all the way across the row. Skip the top of the star and into the chain 1 space, make 2 half double crochet. So when we get to the end of row 2, you've got the top of the first star here, and then we marked the first double crochet of the row, and into that first stitch, so this is the first chain of the row that we marked before we started, you're going to make a half double crochet into that stitch. Okay, so you will have an even number of stitches in every row. Now we turn. So row 3. I'm going to start with a chain 3. So I'm just going to take my stitch marker out and I'm going to mark the first chain from my hook, because that will be our first stitch of the row. Right. So this can get a bit fiddly. Just needs to turn things around a bit. So in the second chain from your hook, insert your hook, pull up a loop. In the third chain from your hook, yarn. In the third chain from your hook, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I'm going to turn things round. Skip the first stitch. We're not going to work into there. We're going to go into the next stitch after that second stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Does help if I yarn over first. Okay, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next stitch, which is the third stitch of the row. Yarn over, pull up a loop. So 8 loops on your hook again. Yarn over, pull through all 8 loops. Sort my yarn out. And then to finish your star, chain 1. Okay. And then essentially going to repeat row 1 here. So into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, working into the same stitch that you finish your last star in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. 8 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 8 loops, chain 1. So our stars are now sitting nicely stacked on top of each other. Okay, so they should be really neatly in rows. They're not going to offset. So if they're not looking like they're stacked on top of each other, then something's gone wrong at the beginning. Okay, so to carry on with the row, insert your hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, go into the same stitch that you finish your last star in, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all 8 loops, chain 1. And just carry on that until you get to the end of the row. Okay, and when you get to the end of the row, you should have 1 stitch left. Start that stitch again because I didn't do enough yarn overs. Right. Into the stitch, yarn over into the last stitch, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over into the next. 8 loops on my hook. There we go. Yarn over, pull through all 8, chain 1, and then to finish the row, make a half double crochet in the last stitch. There we go. So I've got the same number of star stitches in my third row as I did my first. And then row 4 is going to be another row of half double crochets. So to continue with the puff star stitch, you're going to be repeating rows 2 and 3 until you have as many rows as you need. And there is your stitch guide on how to crochet the puff star stitch. I would love to see what you make with this stitch. Please do come and show us over in our Facebook group, Froggity Frogs Riveted the Stitch. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well for more crochet stitches, hints and tips, and free crochet patterns. And if there's any stitch or technique that you would like to see a guide made on, please let me know in the comments, and your video could be made next. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time for the next video. Bye for now.